Good morning, guys. Can everybody hear me all right? Kurt?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry.
All right. YouTube, can you guys hear me all right on YouTube? It's a little bit of a delay, so we'll get going. If you guys can't hear over there, let me know. Anyway, good morning, guys. Can everybody hear me all right? I've got a little bit of a. There we go. Yep, we're good on YouTube too. I heard it and I had to turn that off. So I just got word a little bit ago that Carlos is out sick. So I'll be covering. Kurt's going to hop on and help me a little bit. We got one of the busiest days, if not the busiest days of earnings season. So we're going to go as quickly as we can this morning, fly through this stuff. I apologize if we don't get to every single ticker that everybody throws out. We're going to go very quickly, our usual format. We will go through what transpired yesterday, some of the watch lists. My watch list doesn't always perfectly match Carlos. We'll fly through that, take a look, and then we will hop into current market, what's going on with the SPY this morning. Then we'll hop over to our gappers list, start building a stocks and playlist for today, announcements, and then we will find some levels. So that having been said, let's hop right in. BSX was on our list yesterday. I believe it was also on Carlos. At the open, BSX was tough in a way. It was gapping up huge, and it looked like it was going to continue this move, and then it just started to sell off. But you can see on the daily down here, it opened 40.75, gave that quick pop that I just showed, and then quickly sold off for most of the day, closed around 40.10. It was not, I took a trade in this myself, it wasn't the easiest trading that there was. It rode the moving average on the 5 much of the day, and then just sat there and kind of chopped back and forth when it looks like it was going to break out. Boeing, I know a number of people were watching Boeing. They've recently been in the news for, well, obviously the 737 MAX stuff. Then they had earnings. Earnings were disappointing, but I think people were more focused on the MAX issue and when that was going to get back in the air. So on somewhat bad earnings, it had a pretty strong orb break up in the morning, came up, sold off a little bit, tried to get through VWAP, come up, struggled to make a new high on the second run, and then sold off under VWAP and a little bit down for the day. TXN had horrible earnings night before, and was gapping. I don't know how else to describe it unless you can come up with something more colorful and family friendly at the same time, Kurt. But they were down 10% after hours on Tuesday when they reported. Then yesterday it was just, it gave a nice little bounce back in the morning. I traded this myself. Kurt, did you trade TXN? I thought maybe if I remembered, you traded TXN.
Yeah, I tried slamming some shorts in the beginning, didn't work out, flipped my position, took it long, and then I managed to get a partial off at the high of day, and then it rolled over and died on me. So it wasn't great, no matter which direction I was taking it.
Yeah, so it was trading like crazy in the morning. It was, you can see on this chart here, it opened this first 5-minute candle at like 117. It popped up pretty quick, and then it dropped to 116 and come back to 118. It was an insane chop. It was a little bit spready at times, and then it had a nice little trend that it put in once it finally broke this area of consolidation after about 10 minutes or so. And then let's see here. iRobot. Wow, this was the short squeeze. If you haven't watched Andrew's recap from yesterday, go check it out. He got squeezed on iRobot. iRobot has an extremely high short percentage and short float, and I kind of saw that setting up in the morning. It was a little bit spready as well. It looked like it was going to sell off. He took it short, and then it popped real hard the other direction. I was worried about that. I actually took it long for that squeeze, got stopped out with a tiny loss, and missed the squeeze itself. That would have been a one and done. I just didn't quite set my stop in the right place. So anyway, iRobot, interesting. Nice to show what a short squeeze can do in just a matter of 20 minutes or so, from 44 all the way up to 49. One trade if you're in that, and then you're done, and you don't want to get caught in that squeeze. Cat.
Norm, can you zoom out on the IRBT daily real quick? I want to go over something real fast.
Yep. There you go.
So guys, really quickly, when you have a stock that is down 65-70% from the highs, it has a massive short float, and then it drops 20%, you're going to get short covering, right? It's the same exact thing that happens when a stock gaps up massively, is you're going to get people that are, taking profit, right? So you need to be very careful trying to go short into something that looks like this, because probably 7 out of 10 times you're going to get a squeeze. So just keep that in mind in the future.
Yeah, always. That's why every morning we try to mention short float, and if something has an extremely high short float. I know about iRobot personally. I've watched this one over time. It's been a favorite target of short sellers. I think Spruce Point Capital is one of them that hits it really hard. It puts out research pieces on. I don't know if they just don't like clean floors or what. But yeah, but they hit this thing all the time. They put out all kinds of info on it, and it's been in the news, and you can see some of these massive gaps down. Anyway, Cat, this was another one that had a pretty nasty earnings report, really, and it was trading up during the day yesterday. People were wondering, well, earnings sucked. Why is this bouncing? It's just typical Wall Street. No, I mean, the bottom line is Cat's been having issues for a while. A lot of it has to do with growth and international growth, China, tariffs, a number of different reasons. And so, a lot of times if they reported that and they've had bad news for a long time, it's kind of baked in, and that it shrugged it off. The market shrugged it off a little bit. Can't have a bias on these things. That's why we say don't go into the day with a bias. Be sure, trade the price action. The price action is going to dictate what your trade should be. So that's one more on Cat there. Eli Lilly, I had this on my watch list. I actually had a decent breakdown on this on a shorter time frame, this 5-minute. It wasn't super quick. It wasn't like, this was a hell of a move. It was trading a little strangely, a little bit spready. It's a NYSE stock, not too uncommon. So, and then it came right back and essentially just made up all those losses from the morning on this little trend trade all day. Now, I know Andrew traded this. I can't remember where his trade on this one was, but this was another one. I avoided this personally just because every time I looked at it, the spread was enormous. It was like 70 cents to $1 every single time I pulled it up. I know it wasn't like that all day, but for some reason when I saw it, it was. And then Snap, same thing. This kind of goes back to that Caterpillar deal. Now, Snap had better than expected earnings and sold off and was down as much as 8% or so yesterday off the top of my head. So, it just got annihilated on good earnings. A number of reasons. We've seen some activity in this the previous few days. Some people either had some information or trying to play earnings on this with a lot of. It seemed like a heavy volume of shares coming in the last few days. So anyway, that was Snap. And let's see here. Give me just a moment. Let me clear out.
Norm, when you get a chance, adjust the gappers list so that they can see the short float.
No, but we'll pull it off to the side. It won't hit the screen properly, but we'll pull it off when we look.
Okay.
Usually I just chime in with it or we pull it up down here, but you can see it when we pull it up. Let's see here. So yeah, sorry about that, guys, but it jacks up the screen and we can't get everything in here that we need if we do that. I will try to do it, have it set a little bit differently for next time. All right, guys. So Tesla, I'll let you, Kurt, if you got the news on this, I will let you pipe in on what's going on here with this massive gap up 18.2%. Did we get another tweet? Is funding secured? Is Indian sheik investing his hard-earned fortune into the company? What's going on here?
Guys, it's a Christmas Day miracle. Tesla actually posted a profit.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
it happens.
So,
It's like leap year. It happens once every 4 years or something.
yeah, so that's what's going on right now is Tesla has a profit. I think the analyst expectations were like a loss of 34 cents a share or something like that, and they posted like $1.60 profit. So obviously a huge surprise, which is why we're getting the action that we have. It has a large short float. Obviously, we'll have to see how the market reacts once it opens. It's definitely going to be in play. You can see the volume today is already 1.32 million. This is something that you're going to want to have on your watch list.
Yep, absolutely. I abhor trading Tesla, but it'll be on my watch list today as well. It should be interesting. I saw that and I was shocked. So let's take a look at PayPal. PayPal on the daily has been in quite the downtrend recently. What's the news on PayPal we got this morning, Kurt?
Yeah, so PayPal actually had a bit of an earnings beat, and their payment volume has also increased. So good news for them. As you said, Norm, it's been in a downtrend, so we'll see if this is what it takes to flip it over so we can start an uptrend, or alternatively, we just get some selling that comes in.
It is interesting. We're reclaiming some of these moving averages. We've actually reclaimed the 50, and it's shooting for the 200 here on the daily. So that puts it in some interesting levels, kind of make or break area to see what it can do here. I'll have my eye on this one for sure as well. Hey, Matt. What do we got here, Kurt?
I don't have the news for that one. That one's all you if you've got it.
Let's see here. I've not had a chance to look at AMAT yet. So, I mean, Applied Materials is, one of those. It's a semi company. It looks like they got an upgrade out of a little-known research company and a price target upgrade to 58 from 46. They don't have earnings until the middle of next month. They did get hit. This was on TXN earnings. This hit yesterday. So TXN's been the first major semi I've seen that's come out and really just got nailed. So and TXN is very broad-based customers. So when that happens, a lot of these AMAT, NVIDIA, AMD, MU all get hit at the same time. This is one of them. So this is kind of interesting that they're getting an upgrade that day after that took place. We'll keep an eye on it. Volume looks all right. Not really seeing a whole lot of order flow. Not the best pre-market activity, but we'll keep an eye on it for sure here. AZN is a foreign company. Don't trade AZN usually just because of this terrible daily activity. Really, it doesn't trade very well. What is the story here? They had earnings this morning, I believe. Kurt, is that right?
AZN? Didn't even look. We never trade it.
Yeah, we never trade it because it's a foreign stock. They did have earnings this morning. I have not looked at the specifics on that. It does look like it's breaking out from an interesting uptrend channel, but it's just not something that I usually trade for the simple matter of it trades very strangely and being foreign. I'm going to go ahead and take it off. We're going to have enough. We don't have to think about that. PCG, did they burn something else down, Kurt?
Not as far as I know.
Not this morning.
From the news.
Okay.
Yeah, not this morning. So I think it's more drama with obviously the power outages because blackouts have been going on lately. So that's probably what's causing this, but who knows?
Yeah, well, I know that earlier this year we had storms, which people can't control, and my power was out for a few days. It was an absolute nightmare. So I can't imagine a public utility just preemptively blacking people out because they can't fix their stuff and not start fires. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the best pre-market activity here. Does have the volume to hit our scanners. I'm not really seeing where it's coming from though. There we go. It's in this predominantly in that candle. We'll take a look at it, see if it gets any better. We might have better stuff this morning to look at. eBay, once again, it's 155,000 shares traded, gapping down at 8%. So we've got a nice gap. What is the story here, my man?
So they actually had a revenue and earnings beat. However, there was lowered guidance, especially for the holiday outlook, which is why we're getting a bit of a sell-off now.
You mean people don't like used stuff on the holidays?
Apparently not.
Okay. Well, maybe they can buy a used iRobot Roomba vacuum cleaner here and surprise their friends with it. But apparently it's not in vogue this year. We're seeing this massive gap down. We'll leave this on the list for sure. Looks good. We will come back to this one as well. eBay, I must have either tagged that twice. Twitter. Oh, it's not.
So
it's not because it's not because the president's not quit using Twitter. I can tell you that. But if he did stop using Twitter, I bet it would be even get a bigger gap down than this.
Yeah, so Twitter had an earnings and a revenue miss. They were blaming it on some sort of bug that they were having. But good news is that they aren't having any sort of issues with membership right now. The daily users is up, and we can all imagine why that's happening. So
yeah, it's Twitter's been a wild ride over the last couple of years, and they put in a nice return here. So we'll see what they do. I saw this one when it first came out. The first 5-minute candle, well before it was even halfway formed. I was like, oh wow, this is. But it really hasn't moved much since that point. So we'll have our eye on it. If you woke up with this thing, you were in yesterday, the previous day closed 38.83. This thing's traded between 40ish and 30. So 25% move back and forth on this massive drop. Let's see what happens with it this morning. Do have shares for short, and it's got steady volume. It's trading like the market's open essentially with almost 10 million shares traded already. All right, guys. So what else do we have? What do you guys have? I'm going to keep an eye on the gappers list. If anything, we've got. Let me do AAL. Not always the best trading stock, and I'm going to do LUV as well. Both airlines reported earnings this morning. What news or info can you give on us, Kurt?
for AAL, let's take a peek. American Airlines. Okay, so it looks like they beat their profit expectations, but revenue was short, and it looks like they're cutting their outlook as well. Of course, they're blaming Boeing for that.
Yeah, so American Airlines has been just in the last, I don't know, 50 year or so, really been on a pretty nasty downtrend. To see a bounce here is not uncommon. Love has not been as beaten up as American. Actually, not too long ago, they were sitting at either 52-week or all-time highs in the high 50s here. So not a bad spot, and then they're having a nice gap up 2% this morning. This will get the volume later, my guess. I probably won't trade this. I actually hold Love in a longer-term account. I try not to use the restroom where I eat, so I keep those things apart. Let's see here, guys. What are y'all looking at today? Microsoft did have earnings. I'll pull that one up. Apple, we will definitely take a look at Apple. Let's take a look at Microsoft. Microsoft, 530,000 shares, traded 1.1%. Microsoft doesn't usually gap up too big, so that's not surprising. Microsoft had pretty good earnings off the top of my head. I believe they reported last night, right, Kurt?
I think so.
My days, yeah, they reported last night. Sorry, my young child at home keeps me up for hours on end at night, and sometimes the days bleed together. But yeah, so they reported last night, and it looks like it was some positive earnings. They beat up 1%. We'll keep an eye on this. It doesn't always move huge, but we'll look. MU, as usual, this is trading on the semi-news and TX and everything else. It's kind of an interesting, it's sitting here in this consolidation period. MU will report earnings in a long time. They're one of the later ones. Matter of fact, it was just September when they reported for the previous quarter. So it's going to be probably toward the end of the year before they report again. I don't see any specific news on them. Kurt, have you seen anything?
No, I haven't. I think
this is pretty light volume. Sympathy. Yeah, sympathy move on the semiconductors. Might be worth keeping an eye on. While we're at it, let's take a look at AMD. AMD is actually really light volume pre-market for AMD. Less than 1% gap up, so probably not worthwhile today. Roku, also, same kind of situation. A lot of these stalwarts that that are part of our list are not the stuff that would be great trading, because we've hopped away from that kind of doldrums area where this stuff was moving on little news or just trade news and normal macro stuff to earnings. All right, let's head over to YouTube. Microsoft, we look at UGAS now. For those of you that have not heard, Carlos is out sick. We're covering him. Hopefully he's back tomorrow. Now, nice gap up, 7.5%, 44,000 shares volume. Guys, keep an eye on this. This spread was all jacked up just a minute ago. And I can tell you that this thing gets up to $1 at times, especially if we have lower volume than yesterday. I won't be looking at this one. We'll take a look and see if maybe we can find some levels. Should already have levels from yesterday with Carlos when he did this pre-market yesterday, but it's just, especially once the volume dries up on it after that big day yesterday, it probably will not be something worth looking at. The liquidity, low liquidity on it makes it a little too dangerous for my liking. Snap we already looked at. CMCSA, so Comcast. Please go to 200, Comcast. I've got options here. Let's see here. Comcast beat earnings first time, or they beat earnings consecutively, I believe, for 5 straight quarters, gapping up 2.8%. They're getting up close to their all-time high in this 47-ish range. I believe this is it right here. Right here, I will 47.24-ish. So we'll see if we can get up there again. It's real close. Might be interesting. They don't have the volume yet, but Comcast should get the volume during the day. It might be an interesting one. Let's look. Nat Gas. Typically don't look at those in the pre-market show. They're traded a little bit in the room, mostly on swing trades. We'll take a look at it later. Now we already looked at MA. MasterCard's got 0 volume here at 5755 shares, so just under 6,000 shares. MasterCard, nothing to see here. Please move along. All right, we got one or two other. BAX, 3M did report. 3M is not always the greatest trading. We'll take a look. We're getting quite the long list here. We're going to whittle this down before we make any commitments to them. 50,000 shares traded, 1.5% up on 3M. Most of it is on those two candles, not really. Yeah, Dana, we looked at Love and AL already. I'm not going to keep 3M on here. It's just we've got too many other things to look at to keep it. Comcast we looked at. BAX. This one looks more interesting. It's not the greatest pre-market action. 71,000 traded, gap down 6.6%. This one had earnings this morning off the top of my head, if I remember correctly. We will see the float on it. I know I don't even need to look it up. They've got a decent sized float. So I think it's around $500 million. Anyway, what else? ADS. All right, gapping down 7.3%, 53,000 shares. I know that they had earnings as well. Don't remember the specifics on it, but they're getting hit pretty hard. So pipe in here, Kurt, if you got anything, or you see any additional tickers that we haven't covered you think might be interesting today? Kurt? Oh, I guess Kurt had to drop off for just a minute. F and TAL, these are the last two. F, I can just tell you, it really doesn't have the range, doesn't move very much. ATR on Ford is 18 cents. We've got too much out there to trade. That's, this does have a gap down of 3.6%, 33 cents. You can wait all day for a move on this. I'm going to try to find something that might move a little more quickly. Just not worth it to sit 4 hours in a trade for a 10-cent move. And then TAL. TAL is something that pops up every once in a while. It is a Chinese education company. 65, doesn't have the volume. Something freaks me out about TAL. Just kind of a weird company. I'm going to take it off, leave that there. So, let's see. Tesla looks good. PayPal looks good. Applied Materials, maybe it gets a little bit better pre-market. PCG is kind of flatlined here. We'll keep it on for the moment. We've got two eBays, so we'll delete. Twitter looks good. AAL, it's starting to get the volume, so we'll leave it. My inclination was to drop it. Microsoft, it's kind of flatlined at this 1%. I think it's something to come back and look at maybe later in the day, or if it hits scanners. Comcast, same story, just the pre-market activity isn't that great. We've got enough here to go through. We've got enough to go through. So let's see here. Sorry about that. All right, let's do announcements real quick. I don't have my sheet because it's over. It's over with Carlos, but I'll run through them in my head. So, Benzinga FinTech Awards, Bearable Traders honored to have been nominated for the Best Financial Literacy Tool category. AB will throw up the link. If you would appreciate the content that we put out every day, be sure to click over there. It takes about 2 seconds. It is 2 clicks, and thank you in advance for voting for us. Real close. We've got just a little bit longer home stretch pushing there. Meetups. Saturday night is the San Diego meetup. That's this coming Saturday. San Diego, details are on the forum. It coincides with the Trade Ideas Conference that is that day Saturday. I highly recommend it. If you are in America's finest city, I believe they've already shut down tickets for it, but you can still stream it. So if you want to spend your Saturday watching that, it is awesome. I did it last year. I think it's well worth the time personally to invest in watching that Trade Ideas Conference. Has a bunch of different stuff, not just the kind of trading that we do in short period trading. Then we also have, look for the BBT logo at the venue to find us. Okay, cool, Mike B. I'm not sure where. Throw up where the meetup will be as well. Then November 16th, we're going to have the Clearwater Beach, Florida meetup. That will not. As we get closer to that event, we will have more information on it. If you are watching us on YouTube and have not been in the chat room, you can use the promo code PREMARKET24 and get a discount to try the room out for 1 week. It does not add a discount. It does not auto renew. It does not change into a different kind of membership. It's just a $24 for 1 week in the chat room. Give it a spin, see if you like it, and it cancels at the end of it. No questions asked. And let's see here. It looks like Andrew's going to pop on just a little bit early. I'm going to switch my screen and give him control here. You guys can hang in here. Andrew, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I am very good. Thank you so much, Norm. I know Carlos was sick this morning,
Yes.
So he couldn't come. And thank you, Kurt, for jumping on and contributing. Really appreciate you covering for Carlos. Good morning, everyone on the pre-market. I do love to come in the pre-market earlier, guys, but it's way too early here. So so I do apologize that sometimes I'm not on the pre-market show. So San Diego meetup, Mike in our community, he reserved some cabanas, a really nice place. So just come in and look for Bareboot Traders logo. I mean, we are a big crowd, so it's easy to find us. I'm actually very excited for San Diego. It's an amazing city. If you haven't been to San Diego, it's one of really the finest cities in North America.
And that also is why they call it America's finest city. That's its nickname. It's a beautiful place.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. Yeah. It's one of those cities that I wish I could live there. Really, it's just always good weather, good vibe, it's fun, beautiful trails for running and mountain biking and everything. Anyways, and craft beers, so many microbreweries and stuff. So yeah, if you are coming to San Diego, drinks on us, come and enjoy Trade Ideas event. I think it's sold out, so you can't really get into the Trade Ideas event, but you can watch it online. And then Saturday you can go party. That's that's what we're planning to do. All right, so let's go through the watch list. Yesterday was an amazing day. Apparently, Tesla, of course. So I'm sharing my screen, so everyone should be. So let me. I don't know who's the screen sharing. So if Norm, you can kill your screen.
Yep.
Actually, I can kill it for you.
It's
okay.
dead.
So yeah, you should be able to see my screen. People in the chat, in the YouTube. So if you guys are around, there you go.
They should be able to now. There's a little bit of a delay, and then once you share your screen, it'll be up there as well, Andrew.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that was my issue. All right, so we have a really nice watch list. I mean, it's earnings season. October is an earnings season because there's a lot of companies are reporting their earnings. So let's go through that. Tesla reported their earnings last night, and Elon Musk kind of blew up everyone. The earning was surprised almost everyone. I mean, the numbers were just amazing. I don't have it on my top of my head, but look at that. From 255, it's up 18% to $300. So Elon Musk did it. So 302 is the high of pre-market, so the potential level. And the low of the pre-market we are having right now is around 299. And there is another one is around 297. So Tesla is strong for a reason. I am long biased on that, but you never know. You never know what the market is doing. There's a lot of people are short in there. So Tesla is 26% short float. So a lot of people might want to cover. So it might be a little bit crazy at the open, but let's see how it does. On a daily chart, guys, Tesla, Elon Musk did it, man. This guy is so 320 is the level. It's very difficult to find any level around here, so it's just really a messy area. But if you want to sell off, we have one level down here at. So we have one level down here at 299. We have one level at 289, and there is one level at 279. So if you look at my daily chart. Yeah. So yeah, Elon Musk is certainly. PayPal is up 8%. So PayPal was also really having bad days in the last couple of last weeks, sold off from 103 all the way up to 95. But now it's apparently for good earnings and stuff, so popped up. So we have two moving averages, 104 and 105. And then if you want to break above all of these levels, then we really have some fun all the way up to 107. If you want to sell off, the 102 is the moving average possible. It's a possible area of 102-ish for a sell-off. And then there's another one that we have. It's a little bit tough to really find any levels around here, especially with these moving averages. So PayPal is definitely good. Roku or Buddy really doesn't do anything. Roku has been really in a small range, so it's tough to trade Roku right now. I mean, if it breaks below 125 or above 135, it's going to be really fun to trade. But as you see, this is very important to realize that the volumes are significantly lower and the range is much, much smaller. So as you see, this, Roku might not really be. Same thing happening kind of to MU. MU used to be our buddy, but now it's just popping up a little bit higher. MU could be in play. Again, used to look at what happened to MU in the last couple of days. The volume was low and was kind of chopping the range. And now if you go up above 46 or below 45, this when breaks out from this daily range, then MU becomes in play for us. It's not bad actually right now. SPY is up a little bit, so probably SPY wants to go for all-time high. Yeah, so all-time high at 302. SPY is probably going to break up toward the 302, and then MU might actually be in play. So I definitely put MU on my watch as well. So AAL, that one is also interesting. Let me remove the old levels, see what we got. So yeah, that's a very important level that we have. It's at around 30.37. So I'm actually putting a couple of lines all together so make it a little bit distinguishable, 30.32. So that's one of the most important levels that we have. Then back in time, we have right now a level right now sitting at 29.90. Go back in time. Yeah, so there's another level up here if you want to sell off 29.23. And if you want to go up, the next level is 31.28 pretty much. So we have pretty much one level around here at 31.28. So AAL is for sure is going to be on my watch. So right now it's moving way higher than VWAP. So VWAP is at around 29. This one is almost at 30. So it's very extended right now in the pre-market. AM, it's this applied material. This we've traded in the past. It's going to pop up. Applied material 52.85. The 52-week high is at 53.24. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, so 53.24 is a level if you want to go to the long side. To the short side, we have, if you want to go short, the 52 is a potential level. So there are a bunch of levels we want to look into that. It's not a great pre-market action, but it's possibly could be a good long at the open. ZN, I want to pay ZN pop up 4%. It's a foreign company. You see, there's a lot of gaps here. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Usually, they don't have a good range. PCG, Pacific Gas and Electric. This one is down. Obviously, PCG. Everyone knows about the fires in California. They've been always in the news. So it looks like it's really want to crack for another low. So the low of the, I think it's all-time low 743. We might actually go all the way toward that. So let me look at the daily chart one more time. Oh no, actually we have a little bit lower back in January 2018. So 521 is the all-time low, but we might actually crack that. So definitely I'm looking into that for a potential. Definitely a potential for a short PCG. It might not necessarily short. It could open strong and go higher, but on a daily chart, it seems that it wants to go toward this 752 and 7. So yeah, that's definitely a possibility for a good short on that. But again, I don't have any bias right now. The daily chart looks like a sell-off, but a lot of times market opens, this one squeezes up. That's why we're always saying that wait. It's very important, guys. We always say wait for a few minutes. I mean, depending on your strategy, 1 minute to 5 minute wait, because stock might gap down, but might squeeze back up. Like iRobot yesterday was gapping down 18%. It just moved up 20% up at the open. So daily chart can give you some ideas about the area that you're going to trade, but the direction of the trade is always you have to wait at the open and see what the opening range is telling you. I don't know how people are in the, again, I've seen the Twitter and the community, a lot of traders, good traders say, oh, this is my long and these are my shorts, but how, when, for how much? How do you manage that? I don't know. I mean, I really don't know how people say they can find the direction before the market opens. Because we see that all the time. Stocks will gap down, like iRobot yesterday or GIL last week, just move up. Or a lot of times the stock that gapped up, they just sell off right at the open. A lot of low floats are like that. Home Depot was like that when it was all-time high. I remember that. So PCG is that. Let's see what eBay is up to. eBay is down, huh? Yeah. Who uses eBay? I'm actually surprised it's still not zero. So I'm at 35.46 here. Yeah, it used to be big, but eBay really. I'm surprised that it's not down to zero. But if eBay doesn't reinvent itself, it's really gonna be out of a kind of blockbuster soon. So 35.46 is definitely a level, very important level. So I'm just putting a couple of levels on that here. So let's see what we got. Yeah. So potential sell-off for eBay. I do have shares for sure. It's not going to be on short selling restriction because it's not 10% yet. So we look into that. Twitter. Twitter is also gapping down 18%. Ouch. What happened to our buddy Twitter? So yeah, Twitter is definitely going down. Unfortunately, bad earnings. Yeah, Twitter possibly, there could be a rising devil, the strategy that Brian is using. So pretty much this strategy is at the open when the stock is weak. Any pop above the toward the VWAP can be a short opportunity. Yeah, so unfortunately, the levels we have to come back in 2019, February 2019. Yeah, let's see. There are a bunch of levels, but I don't know. Twitter doesn't move much. So, I mean, if you get 31 to 30.86, it's going to be something. So, Roku, I'm going to delete Roku because I don't want to have a lot of stocks on our watch list. So, this is, let me refreeze that. Oh, MU came back up. I freeze it. SDC is, I don't know what SDC is. So, I think this is our watch list. I think we are having it's garbage. I don't want to trade that. 47,000. AAL, we already looked into that. BAX hit that. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of. It has some changes, but it doesn't have a lot of volume. So I'm not going to add into that. So that's it, guys, for us. I mean, for those of you who are in so this is what I want to mention that to you guys about our community. This is a Gappers watch list, and there is no low float stock. I mean, it's this in there. So I think what we want, the Bearable Traders is a community that we trade non-penny stocks. We want to be the best trading community for mid to large float stocks. And as you see, look at the float that all of them are above 100 million and below above 100 million shares and below 1 billion share float. So this is the perfect range in terms of consistency, in my opinion. I mean, yes, you can have a really good money by trading these penny stocks. But can you make a living out of that by consistency? I think my personal, the only people who are actually can make a living out of trading these penny stocks, in my opinion, are the ones who are teaching that. Because the education is always someone who wants to pay and learn how to trade these penny stocks. It's just very difficult to have the consistency. For us, these stocks are the most consistent. Not the most consistent, they're the easiest to get the consistency, in my opinion. And Bearable Traders want to be that kind of community, the people who come who really want to make it trading for a living and they want not gambling, or just blowing up their accounts. So almost everyone makes money out of penny stocks except the traders that they want to trade that. The broker is making money by short locate and all of those fees and commissions. The ECNs are making money by ECN fees because you trade, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 shares of those. Educators, chat room moderators, and all making money, but except traders. All right, guys. So that's it, guys. I'm not saying that it's easy. Definitely, trading is very, very difficult. Even these ones are very difficult. I'm not saying by no means that they're easy, but I think in terms of people who want to have trading for a living, they want to have as a career, as something that they have extra income for them. I think these are usually the easiest, that they have the best chance in this. Yeah, you don't make $20,000 a day, but you also don't blow up your account in a day. So that's very, very important. And we see that. We see a lot of traders coming from other communities with the mindset of penny stock trading, and they're having difficulty to adjust to this new system. And this is the area that I personally love, and I probably stay. So I don't want to even click on APOP. Yes, APOP is up 43%, but first of all, this 40%, you can't catch it. It's already pre-market. A lot of people say, 40%, I could make so much money if I had $100,000 on that. But you can't catch this 40%. It's already gone. So now you want to, at the open, it's probably going to sell off. So you never know. I mean, I don't know in this case, but it's very, very difficult to trade them. Anyways, enough of these. Actually, it's actually not that bad, APOP, because it might go up all the way to 448. If you want to trade that, this is a low flow. This is a runner. So as you see in the past, run from $2 all the way to 448. And APOP is actually not bad. If you are a low flow trader, APOP can be for the break of pre-market all the way up to 459. So yeah, we have a bunch of levels at the high pre-market. So I'm actually putting it somewhere around here. Yeah, anything above. It might sell off at the open, and then it can pop up about $4. Yeah, so perfect. Yeah, well, YouTube people, thanks a lot. I don't know if you guys are still with me or without us, or what are you up to? Yes. Yeah, POP is actually pretty good. So Twitter is kind of a stuff. So now I have this one. So let me put my watch list. Watch for me would be Tesla, PayPal,